Hey, Remodelers. All right. Welcome to day 10 of this 30-day AI prompt challenge. So we're going to get right into it and speed them up a little bit so you don't have to be around. Let's get you onto the share screen. Appreciate you being here. I know it's Friday. It's probably been a long week for many of you. And hopefully these AI prompts are having you work less. All right. Again, day number 10 of the 30-day AI prompt challenge for remodelers. Let's jump in. All right. So today we're going to talk about an important thing. If you've played sports at a high level, very competitive person, then you'll understand what we're about to do. If you haven't, this will be a new concept for you potentially, and understand that there can be great insight gained by taking time to reevaluate things that you've already done so that moving forward in the future, you make better choices and do things differently. When I was in high school, I was very fortunate. I got to go to a competitive, nationally ranked for sports high school and for two different sports. And part of what made us so good was one, we worked hard and there was a lot of competition. It was a hotbed, as they say, right? Because success breeds more success. When you get around a group of other successful people, everyone gets better. And that's what would happen here at this high school. And we had coaches that were on another level as well. So even when I was in high school, we would watch game film. And here's what would happen. Our coaches would film games, practices, we'd watch other teams, and then we would take time to watch that film and study. How do we move when this is happening? How do we move when that's happening? And then you would be given time to look at you individually, right? We'd look at the team as a whole and then you individually. Coach would give you feedback. And you could see in real time, because in your mind, you're like, no, I did this, man. I was doing that. And the coach is like, well, maybe you thought you were. This is what really happened. Let's watch it on tape. So in the remodeling industry, you're a professional remodeler. And when you're out performing jobs, you need to get feedback and you need to sit down. And when the job is done, there needs to be a debrief, right? You need to have some sort of an evaluation where the team as a whole gets together and talks about that project and says, hey, what did we do great? What did we do okay? And what is it that we need to change moving forward? And you should be doing this with your subs, your employees, right? Internal and external. And the reason you do that is you'll be shocked sometimes at this insight you get. I remember for me, I wanted to figure out ways to make my subcontractors enjoy working for me. So I would be on site with each sub, electrician, HVAC, plumbing, etc. And I would say to them, hey, so and so, what is it that we could do on our end that would make your job easier so that you could be in and out quicker with less headache, less stress, and could reduce our costs and hopefully give the client a better solution? And we started learning many things that I could easily have one of our carpenters do to alleviate problems and headaches for our subs. And it led to significant savings. Now, I would say out of 50 subcontractors, 40 of them would love this approach. There was always a couple that didn't want you to do anything because you know what? They didn't even know themselves what could be done differently, right? You always have a couple guys like that. But by and large, I mean, over 85, 90% of these guys would actually say, yeah, you know what? These couple things, if you did that, then my guys wouldn't have to do that. And you can then evaluate and see what makes more sense for your team to possibly do a different way. And each of these tweaks, imagine if for us, for instance, we were able to save a couple $1,000s on almost all of our HVAC projects by planning ahead and thinking about where the chases are going to go and how the framing should be and should we have what size so that everything fit right and we could work with what was in stock for the HVAC guys so he didn't have to do a lot of custom work, right? All of this starts adding up over time. Anyway, so I say all that because these are the things that you can learn. So let's look at this prompt now. All right. So here's what you want to do. You want to act as a business analyst, right? And help me reflect, right? So our latest remodeling project just finished. You want to tell the prompt, guide me through lessons learned, review let's ask 5 to 6 insightful questions. You can ask more, just depends on how well your team is at doing all this. I cover what went well, what we want to repeat, and what went poorly. Get the client satisfaction, the budget, schedule, adherence, team performance. After each question, provide a brief analysis or common example answer to illustrate its importance. All good things. And it's getting warm in this office here. Let me put on the fan. Give me 1 second. So let's see. What else do we want to adjust? All right. So let's look at a couple sample lessons that might be learned, right? So what went really well? You know, what does the client say? What unexpected challenges came up? And, you know, were there any moments where we lost time, missed a step? How did we perform against the original scope and budget? How was the client's overall experience? And from a team's point of view, what could we do better? I would ask the entire team, right? And here's a trick for how you can get honest feedback from clients and crew is you don't want to just ask, how did it go? Because most people will say fine, and fine doesn't help anybody, right? Instead, you want to create what I call like psychological safety so people feel comfortable sharing something that's real and more honest, right? So you start by being vulnerable and you say, man, we are always looking to improve. No project's ever perfect. I'd love to hear from you. Was there anything that just felt off, clunky, unclear? Use words that you like, but just put it out there that things happen, right? And then you're opening the door so the client doesn't feel awkward when they kick it down and start sharing with you. You also want to use curiosity, not defense. Hey, would you help me understand what could have made the process better? Be specific. When we wrapped up the tile work, how did that phase go? Or when we did this, anything you wish we had done differently? You might have some insight because there might have been some tension somewhere along the project. Bring it up. Say, it seemed like this was frustrating for you guys. Tell me more about that. What could we have done differently? And make it about next time. So look, if you were to hire us for the next project, what would you like us to approach in a different manner? What's something you suggest? So I think you'll be fine. You'll be amazed at what people share with you when you open that door. And the thing you want to understand here is this is all part of building your system for excellence, right? This process doesn't have to be long and arduous. It's something that you should be doing. And don't give me the excuse we're too busy, right? Because then it just tells me you're just too busy making mistakes all the time. You want to get good at getting better. So let's look here. I will show you the prompt in ChatGPT. Let me get over to that. Here we go. All right. Act as a veteran remodeling business coach, project analyst, right? You've just completed, insert the project type, help me generate lessons learned, post project review questionnaire, where my team, subcontractors, and client can evaluate how the job done. We're going to break it into 3 sections. Internal team reflection, right? Questions for my employees and subs that uncover what went well, what could be improved, and where we had friction or missed opportunities. Include questions that encourage input, scheduling, communication, coordination, material handling, job site conditions. 2, client feedback. Questions for the homeowner. Hey, that feel friendly and professional, designed to draw out honest feedback beyond it was fine, right? So you use the human behavior and psychology principles to phrase questions in a way that makes them feel safe, respected, and excited to share useful insight, both positive and constructive. All right, business owner reflection. So questions you can ask yourself about the whole sales process, the accuracy, right? Job costing, profit margin versus estimate, unexpected issues, contingency planning. So you frame this whole questionnaire like a post-game film review, right? The goal is not to criticize, it's to learn and improve and refine the systems. Include examples of the kinds of answers I might receive, right? So I can understand what to listen for and how to apply the feedback format in easy copying into a Google form or internal document. And then boom, we hit go. It's analyzing. Seems to take a while. So remember, when you're on the lives, feel free to put in some comments. And also, you can reach out to us and let us know something you want to hear. All right, so this time it's put it in a Word doc. So we're going to hit download and download that file. Lessons learned. And here we go. So now you have, and you guys should put your own company logos in there. Post-project lessons learned review guide. So every remodeling project is a chance to learn, improve, and grow. This will help you run a post-project review. Get the extra insights, right? Internal team. What went really well? What should we repeat? Any delays or inefficiencies could have been avoided. What would you recommend? Any confusion around scope, communication, responsibilities? Did we have the right materials, tools, equipment? Ask these silly questions. You will get serious answers. You'll be surprised. From your point of view, what slowed us down or hurt profit? If we could have changed one thing about the project was run, what would it be? Right? These are invaluable questions. Now, don't ask for like paragraphs. Just have a conversation. Look, call up the sub, the plumber. Hey, John, tell me, you mind if we debrief that job? Yeah, I know this happened. Oh, that client was crazy, right? Yeah, man. So listen, help me understand a couple things from your all's perspective, and ask the questions. So call when you're doing the project walkthrough with the homeowner, you can ask them these questions. Say, man, we're always improving our process. We know that we're not perfect. We know we make mistakes, right? And help me understand, what was this experience like from your all's perspective, right? What smelled the smoothest, most impressive? Anything caught you off guard on a scale of what do you think we did, right? If the more relaxed you are, the more relaxed they will be. And understand, you have to be a good reader of other personalities. There are some people that just are never going to say anything negative, even though it's burning them up inside, because they can't do that. It's not in their personality. They could write it online, but they won't be able to tell it to you in purpose. Don't worry, you'll see that Google review. All right. Would they feel confident in referring? Why not? If you were coaching us, this is a good one. If you were coaching us, what's one thing you would have us do more, less, differently? So avoid vague questions, right? Like, how'd it go? Most projects have some hiccups. You can always learn from them and let them know, man, your honest feedback. Like, tell you what, if you don't want to say it to me, like, could you write it down and send it into the office? Or would you call Carrie, whoever your office admin, and say, would you call our office Carrie and just unload on her and tell us what we could do differently? And even give me some feedback. Like, what would you rather have me? Anyway, it all helps. So at the end of the day, you can get better, put these things into practice, and you will see results. I guarantee it. All right. So thank you for being in here. We're 10 days in. We got 20 more to go. Look forward to seeing you all on each of the following. And I'm telling you, you're going to have if you're a new remodeler, you could have your entire business process and systems built when we're done this challenge. So hope to see you on the next one. And let me stop the share of the screen. Look, guys, thank you for being here. And again, always reach out, right? There's no sense of you having to reinvent the wheel. You need help, you get it. Ask for it. It's here, man. It's out ready for you. Your success is out there. All you got to do is ask yourself, are you ready for it? All right.